Gosselin believes that it concerns the tribe Trausi instead of Prausi, as Herodotus, v-3, and Titus Livius, 38.41, state that it is a Thracian tribe, Tauriski, and Skordishi. However, Strabo says that he is not familiar with where these Brinos Prausi lived. Gosselin explains that Tauriski and Skordishi do not exist in Gaul, and they are Gauls by origin. Book 86, Section 33, Gosselin did not notice that his Skordishi are found everywhere in Serbian lands, so it cannot be about one tribe. Skordishi, or Sordishi, or Sorbishi, are simply Serbs. Another honorable figure in Rodania is Vergobrit, which literally means supreme brat, brother, or supreme bado. The prefix vir in Rodania has the meaning of contemporary Serbian ver, or vrh, meaning top or peak. Among the priests, special attention is drawn to the presence of Seronida, which should be read as Serbanida, about which we will talk about elsewhere. Two names for military units in Rodania, which are well known, are Katerva and Alisada. Both of these names are found among Serbian tribes in Syria, proving that they were common Serbian terms. Firstly, Katerva is a military unit consisting of 25 to 30 soldiers, corresponding to the Roman terma. The basic military unit among the Serbs was a century, which consisted of around 100 soldiers. Centuries existed in Russia until the Bolshevik Revolution. A century was divided into four, Katerv, which is actually Setvera, quarter, as it represented a quarter of a century. Regarding Alisada, Boser says it is a unit of 1,000 soldiers. Elasta is an Alisatnia, a large or second century of 1,000 soldiers, also known as a Tisasha, in some regions. Elasta was divided into four units, each consisting of about 250 soldiers, which is still in use today as a Sita company. Pritchard and Ladam mention that Katerv can be found as a military unit among the Sabines in Italy, and among the Welsh, it is called Katorva. The Roman terma, or turba, is Torva, 105, which is a shortened form of Katorva. Katerva, or Katorva, is a quarter of a century, just as Sita company is a quarter of Alisatnia. Alisada is also mentioned as Alifdal, Alavda, and Alanda. Among military units in Rodania, Gazati are mentioned as mercenaries, and Gazati are gosti, guests, the term used for mercenaries in medieval Serbia. In Rodania, Kari are mentioned as a type of military unit, which is exactly the same as the Minoan Kari we have already discussed. A type of carriage in Rodania is called Rada. This name for light carriages is also found among the Greeks, and later among the Romans. It is evident that both groups adopted this name, but from whom and what does it mean? Théophile Latour says that among the Celts, the word Retic means to run or race, and Rada means race. He mentions that this Celtic word gave rise to the root of the English word readiness, and notes that in the Syrian language, there is the word Rida, meaning to move. 107, Saint 77. In the Serbian language, there is the word Rista, for race, Ristati, for racing, and Ristar, for a participant in a race or a light athletics competitor. Thus, we have the same root for the same concept, and we can conclude that, among the Greeks, the word Rada originally referred to carriages for races. In modern Breton, the word Kur means a town or small city. This word has the same meaning as the Serbian word Var, Varash, and Varoshika. In the East, we find the Serbian Var as Kar and Kari instead of Vari. In Assyrian records, Babylon is mentioned as Kar Dunyash. 14. This is essentially Serbian Vardan or Vardunyesh. Among the Bretons, Kur is the same as Kar in the East, and both are related to Var. Vadal translates Kar as a fortress. 99. Saint 97. Rogozin states that Kar means fortress and mentions places like Kar Sharukin, Kar Nineb, Dur Sharukin, and Dur Jakin in Assyria. 14. A river in southern Rodania is called Var, just like the Vardar in Macedonia, and this name has remained unchanged to this day. 1 department, as the administrative unit is called in the Frusca region, is named after this river, Var. Among the Celts, the name Dur is often found as a component in the names of cities and settlements. In Assyria, the elements Dur and Duru are also frequently found in the names of places. Dur was also a type of fortress among the ancient Serbs. Andrei Paro translates the Assyrian Duru Danu into English as strong wall, or more precisely, a robust fortification. 85. Saint 24. Unlike Vara, a solid town or palace, Dur is simply a fortress, or, more accurately, a fortified structure, often consisting of walls or moats with water. Dur often implies a water fortress or a fortification on water. Several rivers in Rodania have names starting with Dur, such as Durantia, Durance, Druentia in Provence, Druma, Druna in Dauphine, Duria Major, Dwar, and Atoris, Ador, between Bigorre and Spain. Durius, Douero, in Spain, Duriche, Dur, in Ireland, Dor in England, and Duria in Italy. The Breton term, Dur, Dwr den, is translated by Theophilus Latour into Latin as aqua profunda, meaning deep water. 107. Saint 280. Indeed, deep water serves as a significant obstacle and plays a role in fortifications. The term, Duru, truly signifies something robust, as evidenced by the name, Celtura, in Celtic lands, Duro. 97. Saint 249. Another well-known component of names among the Celts, usually found at the end of names, is Dun and Don, interpreted by Palutiu as hillock. 108. Theophilus Latour translates Dun, or Don, as deep. 107. Saint 280. As an example, he mentions names of rivers such as the Danube, Don, cities like Don Leroy on the Ornon River in the province of Berry, Dunham, Ladon, a city in Lorraine on the Meuse River, Aberdeen, Aberdeen on the River Don in Scotland, Teredon, a city in Mesopotamia at the confluence of the Tigris and Euphrates, Rugindon in Pannonia, Singidon or Singadunum, and so on. Palutu's translation is more accurate, as the word Dun has evolved into the word Dina, for a sandy embankment or shoal. Palutu translates Dur as door, as this term is found in both Breton and in the broader sense meaning a gate or entrance. This suggests that the word Dur originated from door, and originally signified a fortified gate or entrance. Another word frequently found among the Celts as a suffix in names, usually for city names, is Briga. Celticists translate this word as Colline, meaning hill in the Frusca-Gora language. 96, meaning hill in the French language. 97. Markel says, Briga initially denoted a hill, and then a fortified hill. Dunham is also a hill. And Dun means a fortification. 125. Henry Darbois de Jubainville translates the Celtic term, Briga, as a hill and compares it to the Old Slavic word, breg. 132. Saint 228. According to the way the inhabitants of Rodania dressed, the Rumians distinguished three regions. They called those wearing long leggings Gal Komada. Those wearing wide trousers, similar to the Sarmatians, were called Gal Bracada. These were actually equestrian trousers. The third region below the Alps was called Gal Tagada, referring to the toga attire. As the land of Rodanim is not discussed in the Old Testament except for its mere mention, Mead suggests that this is because this land was far from Palestine, outside Jewish reach and knowledge. Alfred Morey says, Celtic place names are widespread from the region north of the Danube and on the left bank of this river all the way to its source and the border of Gaul. They mark the path followed by the Celts to enter our land, Rodania. It is obvious that they went through Pannonia, northern Illyria, Noricum, and Vindelicia. 77.July.st.355. The same author points out the similarity in character between the Celts, Thracians, and Getae. He mentions Celtic tribes in Germany, the Lamavices, Godini, and Estini, also mentioned by Tacitus. These tribes were under the domination of the Suebi and Sarmatians, that is, Srbi, which were essentially Serbian tribes. The Lamavises are also found in Rodania, and Mori says it is challenging to make a distinction between them. Mori adds that the Godini spoke a Gallic dialect. The Esti had a wild boar as a symbol, and their language was close to Breton. Then, he highlights the significant similarity between the Pannonians and the Celts. Julius mentions that Rodania was indeed divided into 3 parts: Belgica, Aquitania, and those areas they called Celtica and Regal. They differed among themselves in language, institutions, and laws. The Garumna River, Garonne, divided the Celts and Aquitanians, while the Matrona, Marne, and Sequana, Seine, divided the Celts and Belgae. 124. Julius pays great attention to the discovery of the Rutene tribe in Rodania, in the areas now called Ruark and Zevodin. The Maduri or Madari were in the region of modern Bases Maurienne.